some can LGBT no two niara na bia wa anka sat won access so there say bi wa yan papenti e kan be kan boko be so ya benti a tira mami jan ya na anka mu na asa meka.
Is the church confused about whether or not it supports homosexuality?
Confused or not?
Yes.
We're never confused about anything.
What is the position of the church?
We know, eh? What is
the position of the church on that?
On homosexuality? Clear. Homosexuality is a tendency which can lead to action. Okay? As a tendency in itself, nobody can accuse you or blame you for being what you are. But what you do, your action, can be reprehensible to a country, a state, or whatever, because it goes against its norms or its laws or whatever type of thing. So there are two things that should not be mixed. I mean, if somebody wants to wear earrings or feels that this is what I am, fine, that's what you are. I can have issues with you. But if you say this is what I am, therefore I'm going to do something that a particular community or society I live in take objection to, that's what it's. In the case of the Christians or people of the Bible, that's where they say biblical whatever consider certain acts as sinful.
Should Ghana then go ahead to sign the anti-gay law?
Ghana is not all Christian. Ghana is not all Muslim. Ghana is a different whatever. So to say you adopt this to impose the viewpoint of, in this case, I speak as a Christian, on whatever would also not be fair. Okay? If the Christians in Ghana, the Muslims in Ghana, or whatever will come together and say this, we agree that this is a common thing, then, then we'll have something like that. But in the absence of that, we need to recognize the diversity of faiths and, postures of beliefs that people have.
I see. So then, when the Catholic Bishops' Conference had a different position from that of the Pope, when... They
didn't have, no, so you're throwing two things together.
I'm putting two things together. Okay, shed some light on that.
Yeah, no, so the Bishop of Ghana did not disagree with the Pope. What the Bishops of Ghana expressing is that a document supposed to came from one office, okay, of the Vatican in charge of discipline of faith and all of that. And that office, that document suggested a possible blessing of gay couples. Okay? That's when the bishops were saying, if you bless a couple, it's tantamount to recognizing their marriage. And if you recognize their marriage, then you also recognizing their sexual relations and all of that. So you're basically condoning homosexuality. That was the protest. But okay, and this is a big but. But, so the documents that came from out there, the guy realized that it didn't do enough consultation and whatever type of thing about this document, and so began to do some more with it. And now they ended, so the Pope was saying that he's for blessing of persons, not the blessing of couples. Okay, so you may be in relation with anybody, but if you came to me alone, asked to be blessed, I have no problem. I should not have a problem blessing you.
Right. If
you came as a couple, asked me to bless, then that blessing entails, okay, blessing a union, and a union of two, as what? I know, again, for the sake of this interview, I know cases where two men live together without intending to marry. They say they live together for company. Okay, so they will not go and ask for marriage. I also know a married man who lives with a wife, both of them are married, and they say, we've decided not to have sex. So you have these variations. Therefore, I mean, if two men came and they say, we're living together for company, because what becomes objectionable for the church and the faith is their sexual whatever type of thing.
Indeed.
That is where...
So Your Eminence, because you've spoken...
to criminalize anybody, you need to be able to identify the crime. Okay, so my position has always been LGBT cases are not to be criminalized because traditionally the Ghanaian culture has known of people with some such tendencies. And I say this because there is an expression in the local Akan language, that of mine, of men who act like women and women who act like men. There is an expression for it. It means that this phenomenon was known in the culture, in the community and all of that. But nobody went on to make any policy out of that.
In Uganda, the official leadership of the Catholic Church has stayed silent, has not condemned what the Ugandan Parliament has approved of.
Because I think we need a lot of education to get people to make a distinction between what is crime and what is not crime. What's a personal habit and not a personal habit. So something that, that tradition may be referred to as a taboo and all of that.
Well, it takes time. It takes time. According to the Ghanaian Catholic Bishops' Conference, it is despicable lifestyles, practices, and behaviours. Is it time? And you are one of the senior voices of Catholicism in Africa. Is it time to move away from that kind of language?
It is time. What I'm saying, it's time to begin education to help people understand what this phenomenon is. If culturally we had expressions and terms for this type of, it just means that it's not completely alien to the Ghanaian society. Not being completely alien to the Ghanaian society, now that is coming out this form, what has to be the response? I think this drastic form that is taken in Ghana and probably West still in Uganda is been the perception that the West was imposing this connectedly, linking it with some donations and grants and all of that. It's kind of politicized that in such a way that the reaction to it has also been equally political in character. But I think we could, all of this, from my point of view, and this is what I think I speak about with a couple of other bishops, is to be able to understand more deeply this phenomenon.
So I think some working. Obi so there. It is easy and LGBT. One stands in it to now. What can I do for her? What can I do for her? But from Kutin Eleka. Came in a non put press but say I'm anymore. I maybe so straight question there. Opinion LGBT, do you accept it or not? As a Christian, as a Ghana is not all that Christian. And if we were to have a situation where Muslims and Christians would have come together to condemn it, that would have been different. Were you not in this country when the chief imam called on the president to sign the anti-LGBT bill? So what do you mean by that? White man, Pope, and opposition for pedophily. And to me, one on car, someone said, it's so. To call a position, now the madam can make a I have a lot of Catholic friends in the no be aware say father I will be shama word now when wonder is any your own experience they are kaka no be back actually dey it's am dam nyum kasa na work and we your position bi international nyum to kwana ka Ghana even Hollywood higher Hollywood boy school I Ghana ni auto Ghana fu enenim ata say auto Ghana fu enenim Peter Mason Spartacus I Ghana ni obefe obaya mambre nyame adu meke janwa broni ne nsam nkoti na di adwuma na wada masem eken de ya wo mbenfo ebie na obotu abo de bompa emon the what's there they want to live for companion no anka se baby asi ya ba Ghana ehu de Ghana fu mbenfo ebie na bodwe otu a wa ba wo de osofo bompa men ne yentu ya pede ex and have a sex atibida. How can you even make such a statement? Idris Elba ya Ghanaian born British actor. Shadow oba basic Hollywood something bi wo osu. O de nyumnyam le Ghana ha. Dam na me hwehwe mama asam pede kanye. They ke jada international stage what we nani. I don't know why who's gonna judge bu to kum na abada de yam nkofo. Obi de we busuem wo. Ana me kam simi president bi ne wo yimpa. Is the bono be di kwanye easy. Sometimes people fall on some of us, we also have to fall on others. Because I bet that you can watch. Oh, motive do into him that any problem. To watch one longer and you also you have to fall on someone. So you take it and then come and help them. Them the reality. It's them black pope and them you want to work kakadam kasano. I'm not one of them. There was it Coco Shannon watching in you. I sound one in now 96, so 97. Time no US secretary general. In case of also French. I could see Saponia in Yanyim, and I could see Sapon from BBC. Joy out this old BBC. One of the news item one man or other end on a KP. I say, I'm my China, which means tomorrow. Let's say Ghana. Damn Queen Yo Sadia. A palliative plane from Dubai, Adiba Ghana. I was the largest airline was Abadi from Adiba. A country were playing him. No sooner some Ghana ni beat him out. As he came out for a message and numb.
Please, our Hamadi. Now, one more, you want my shops, one pain in the Indian Bomash. So right now, I'm one of my age, but could you make action? Daniel and I mean, we have a murder, and soon I'm resting, and I'm pimping that night. They declare my mom. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Solomon Crane. I'm the captain on this H-80 operated by the EK-77 shortly found Accra. This is a history flight because today is the first time we are taking it to the international level, but my history, and I would like to welcome you. We have and missile lights. Which means a senior officer,
what find time then me are emotional. You never be a while, who the man no more. Yeah, first black poop. But the number, it was shine gun on a global, whatever global uses all sort of terms. When an American get the opportunity to come to Ghana to do something, and that opportunity is well created, he invites his fellow Americans to come. When a Chinese came here and realized that there's a place called Bobwase or whatever for mining, they started bringing their people, and Galamsey has now become a business for them, and is destroying our water bodies. As a Ghanaian or African, you get that opportunity to get to the highest peak of life, to become a secretary general, to become this, to become that, and all that you do is to become a puppet of the white person. And you come and tell me that it's a global light for us, for you and who? Let's be real. As Africans, look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. I'm hearing that they want to overthrow the young man. For what for? For the first time, the whole world is standing behind that man. Let America take care of America. Let Africa take care of Africa. That is the way it's supposed to be. I don't want to be emotional today because I believe I've said so much. I need to end the program. Forgive me, this is not my usual style. But these things, I needed to say it. That is why we need people who can be competent to make sure they help develop our continent, our country, and our future. Devoid of NPP, NDC politics, and all those kind of stuff. All the time begging. Let's build our own system of government. May the good Lord bless you. And thanks for watching. The name is Inokijo. Program